Alright, welcome back to the NHL '08 Dynasty mode with the Carolina Hurricanes. In this video, we're going to have the entire offseason, the NHL draft, the re-sign phase, the free agency. Maybe we get some simulating done in the regular season, but we'll just have to see. But let's hop into the draft. We only have a second, third, and fourth round pick this year. No first round pick, no fifth round pick. I'm not even sure if in this older game, if the draft picks after the first round even end up in the NHL. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Maybe we get lucky. All right, well, most of the draft has already been simulated. On the first round, we traded our first round pick to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Jordan Staal, and they took a defenseman, Ken Popst, with that pick. So we'll have to check out Ken Popst and see what his potential is and see what Pittsburgh got with their second overall pick. All right, we need offense. We need goals. So we're going to sort by offense, and then we're going to look over here. Can we sort by the round? No. Let's sort by forwards. Forwards at least. All right, offense. There's nobody green 8. So let's look here. So all these guys right here are the best green offensive guys that I have scouted. This little chunk, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 guys all have second round projected. This guy has 8 athleticism. Let's look at him. Right wing, 18 years old, 5'10". Fyodor Sundukov. Let's look at his stats. Offensive awareness is an 8.0 green. Puck control, 7.5. His shot isn't great, but it's his offensive awareness. And his athleticism. His speed is 9.5. A green 9.5. Endurance, durability, agility, all over 8. Acceleration, 7.5, not bad. Balance is an 8. He's the only 18-year-old projected in the second round with that good of stats. So the very first draft pick ever by Gert Gerdington as the GM of the Carolina Hurricanes is going to be Fyodor Sundukov in the second round of the 2008 draft. All right, he's 69 overall. We'll have to see his potential, but that's pretty nice. Kent Raycroft, 18 years old, 6'6", left-handed left wing. Ooh, he's all greened out. Speed is good. Endurance is good. His offensive awareness is good. His passing is good. His puck control is good. His shot is just mid. This guy looks decent. The second pick of Gert Gerdington's career is going to be Kent Raycroft. Left wing, 6'6". We need offense. This guy has good offensive awareness and passing. We're taking Kent Raycroft from the United States. He's 68 overall. He's 60. That's not terrible. We're going to have to see these guys' potentials. So we're kind of hurting for defense. This guy, Alexei Zhamnov, he's 18 years old, 6'5". I mean, it's a fourth round pick. You know, I don't think we're going to get much with our fourth round pick anyway. He's tough. He's got decent balance. His aggressiveness is pretty good. His poise is trash. Discipline isn't great. We don't really know about his defensive awareness, but we need defense. We need young guys in our defensive core getting better because we don't really have anybody. So for the third pick of Gert Gerdington's career as general manager, he's going to draft Alexei Zhamnov, defenseman from Kazakhstan. The NHL entry draft is now complete. Oof, 63. We'll have to look at his potential. So Alexei Zhamnov, defenseman, he's 63 overall, and his potential is only 62. This guy's going to be nothing. Unfortunately, our fourth round pick was a waste. All right, Kent Raycroft, potential 60. That's trash. What about Fyodor Sundukov? Potential 60. That's trash. Speed 95. Ugh. There's just no potential in these guys, so like they're not going to become anything. Unfortunately, with the re-sign phase in this old game, the contract screen, it only shows you the players that aren't signed. So you don't really know how many years you have all your core players, you know? So I have to come to the contract screen and figure it out. We have to sign Eric Stahl next year. That's going to be a lot of money. We also have to sign Jordan Stahl after next year. We have to sign both the Stahl brothers. Eric Cole, Justin Williams. All right, we have Cam Ward for 2 years. And then we don't have anyone else on the team longer than 3 years. So I feel like if we sign anybody to contracts, we can keep this window of 3 years and sign 3-year deals on whoever we actually want to re-sign. So let's see. Glenn Wesley is still our best defenseman, even though he's 39 years old with 70 potential. But I would like to have him on the team. Got to sign Ruutu. Got to sign Jokinen. Got to sign the defenseman we just traded for. We unloaded Frantisek Caberlet and Scott Walker for Keith Ballard. He's went up 1 overall already, so that's a good sign. He might actually be our best defenseman come the next season. Holy, this Greeno McNeil guy jumped up to 80 overall after 1 year. 19 years old, 80 overall. This guy's going to make the team next season. Vasicek actually grew to a 78. He went up 3 overalls. All right, we have $25 million in cap space, which back then was a ton. The salary cap is $50 million. We have half of the entire salary cap to re-sign our players and free agents. So we got to make something happen this season. 1 year for Glenn Wesley. Let's see if we can get him for $3 million. Tuomo Ruutu, this guy's going to be a part of our future. Like I said, we have Justin Williams for 3 years, so let's stick to this 3-year window. Let's see if we can get him for $3 million. 3 years, $3 million. Keith Ballard, the guy that we traded Frantisek Caberlet and Scott Walker for at the trade deadline. He looks like he's going to be a big part of our future. 85 potential, 25 years old, 81 overall. He only wants 1 year, but I'm going to try to get him for 3. Let's go 3 years. I'll actually pay you a little more, 2.25. UC Jokinen, another guy that's going to be a part of our future. He wants 3 years, so that's good. And we'll drop it down to 1.5 because you were kind of trash last season. Joni Pitkinen, 24 years old. Let's get him for 3 years at $2 million. Let's see if he'll accept that. This guy that we signed in free agency before the beginning of last season has grown, I'm not sure, at least 5 overall points, at least, since signing him. He's 19 years old. He's reached his potential pretty much. His potential is 81. He's overall 80, but he's 19, so he could have a long career. We're going to sign this guy, and he's going to make the NHL team. We're going to go 3 years with him, 1.5. Joseph Vasicek, RIP. He has gotten better. He's only 27. He wants 3 years. He can be a depth guy for us. I'm fine with this contract right as it is. Did my cat just kill a fucking bird? Hey, come on. Come on. Update, cat did not kill the bird. Almost killed the bird. Did not kill the bird. Chad LaRose, Hurricanes legend. We got to sign this guy. That's just how it is. 3 years, $1 million, same as Vasicek. This guy will be some good depth for us. Who knows? He might actually make the team, but he's more than likely to just be a depth player for injuries. But we'll sign him for 3 years. We have re-signed our young prospect goaltender. Glenn Wesley rejected. He was not happy with the team's success during the last season and has decided to move on. Good luck. I mean, that does make sense for Glenn Wesley with how bad the team was last season. You're 39. Why would you want to re-sign with the same team? Maybe we could bring Glenn Wesley back, but I agree with him. Why would he want to re-sign with the Hurricanes when he's 39 and we were that bad last season? Tuomo is a part of the core of this team for the foreseeable future. Keith Ballard, he's rejected it. You weren't happy with the team's success. We got you at the deadline, bud. You're going to be a part of the success. We need you to be a part of the success. We're going to have to give this guy more money. UC Jokinen, the same thing. Oh, nobody wants to sign because we're so bad. Yoni wants to sign. That guy wants to sign. That's good. Vasicek declined. Chad LaRose declined. We're going to have to give all these guys more money because they don't want to play here. Okay, 3 years. I'll give you 2.5, dude. I'll give you 2.5. We're having to overpay because we were so trash last season. He's looking for a contract length more to his liking. Okay, so he's willing to sign. He just doesn't want the 3 years. UC Jokinen, hey, all you got to do is give him just a little more. Just put a little bit more cash on the table. Just put a little bit more cash on the table. Then all of a sudden, except for riding beta. Alright, so the last guy we really have to stress about is Keith Ballard. 2.5 for 1 year. Dude, get in here. We're going to have a better season next season, and you're going to be a big part of it going forward. Okay? 2.5 for 1 year. Okay, Keith Ballard, the big trade deadline acquisition, is in for at least 1 more year. At least 1 more year. So that's good. We need to have a good season this next season so these guys want to actually re-sign with us. Nobody wants to play for a trash team. Why? You know? Dear Mr. Gertington, please find and close the complete breakdown of the team's finances for the past season. In sum, it has not been a banner year for the team. No shit. No shit. Who is Mr. Perry Kaskus? Either way, 23rd in the profit. Our attendance is good, but our profit is bad because the tickets were so cheap. All right, here we go. Free agency. We got some options. The best player available is Dustin Penner, 25 years old. Right wing. You want to bring in some offense? You want to bring in some offense? How about a 30-goal scorer? He's got more goals than he does assists. This guy, we need to bring in because we need goals. Period. Period. Defense, you want to bolster the blue line real quick? You could get a 22-year-old Andre Mazzaros. This guy's a stud. At 22 years old, he could be a part of your team for a decade. So when we look at our forward core, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll probably go Eric Stahl, Justin Williams, and maybe Dustin Penner on the first line. Then we go Eric Cole, Jordan Stahl, Tuomo Ruutu on the second line. These guys were on the second line last season, and they actually played great. So maybe we go with this same second line, and then we sign a top-line winger, Dustin Penner, to play with these two guys on the first line. Then our third line would be Jokinen, Greeno McNeil, and Sergei Samsonov, which isn't bad for a third line. Then our fourth line is these same guys. I think we need to change up the fourth line a little bit. So then we look at our defensemen. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's really bad. That is really bad. We need a number 1 defenseman. Then we can probably have Keith Ballard play with him. And then on the second pairing, we'll have Joni Pikkinen. And we need 2 top 4 defensemen. We need 1 top 2 defenseman. And then we need 1 top 4 defenseman. And honestly, we might need a top 6 defenseman as well because Nicholas Wallin just 76. We can't have 2 76s on the bottom pairing. We need somebody. I don't think Anton Babchuk is going to jump that much. He might go up a little bit, but he's not going to be that good. So let's get to work. Dustin Penner. Let's see if we can get him in here. 2 years. I'll give you 4. I'll give you 4 million. Milan Mikalik. He's also a 30-goal scorer, but he also dishes the puck. He had 79 points last season, plus 20. That could be really good on our team. I think we need to sign this guy, too. But we need a defenseman. We need a defenseman worse. We need a defenseman worse. He's the best defenseman in free agency. He's 22 years old, and his potential, he's got the highest potential out of everybody on this list. He's the youngest age out of everybody on this list. This guy is clearly the option. So let's go 2 years, sure. We'll go 4. We'll go 4.1 just to try to outbid the other teams. The Islanders, the Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders, are trying to re-up. We can't let them fucking do that. Here it goes. This is the day. This is deciding day. Please. Yes! Andre Mazzaros accepted our offer. We have our #1 defenseman. And for a while, probably. He's only 22. This is an immediate replacement for Glenn Wesley, at least. Dustin Penner is still available. Milan Mikalik has been signed. He's not even an option anymore. He's gone. I'll try to sign him for 1 year at $4 million. We really need to have a better defensive core. This guy is the best option in free agency. Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot. Try to get another depth piece in here. Denis Grabeshkov. He's 24 years old. Potential 83. So maybe he can grow for us. Let's take a shot on him as well. Maybe he'll get a jump before this next season. Who knows? Dustin Penner accepts our contract offer. The Carolina Hurricanes have made a splash in free agency, picking up the best forward available in Dustin Penner and picking up the best defenseman available in Andre Mazzaros. You can't say I'm not trying to make a better team for next season. This has got to be a better team for next season. And we signed the depth defenseman, Denis Grabeshkov, 24 years old, 76 overall, 83 potential. Maybe he gets a jump going into next season over this offseason. Maybe he comes in at 80 overall, and then we have another top 4 defenseman, maybe. But at a minimum, we have our our third pairing guy with potential to get better. Dallas signed Milan Mikalik. I was looking at trying to get Milan Mikalik. He had 79 points last season. That would have been really nice to pick him up. I wasn't sure if we're going to have the cap space, if we're going to have the roster position, but big signing by Dallas. Chris Kunitz goes to Chicago. Corey Sarich goes to Detroit. Matt Stajan. Mark Stewart goes to Colorado. And we signed Dustin Penner. Big signings by the Hurricanes. Looking at our defense, it's still not great. We have Andre Mazzaros, 83, 81, 80, and then we have 76, 76, 76. So if we had one of these guys jump up to near 80 to be the top 4 guy, maybe Grabeshkov jumps up to an 80. Maybe Tim Gleason jumps up around 80. They can be our second pairing with Joni Pitkinen. It depends on if all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right here, if any of them grow. If any of these guys grow up near 80, we might be okay. If multiple of them grow up near 80, we might be pretty decent, you know? There are too many players at your position on your roster. My guy, I have 3 goalies. I don't have enough at this position. Oh, Jason Smith has decided to go with a different team at this time. Oh, that's a big 83 overall defenseman. Just fell through our fingertips. But like I said, maybe some of our guys can grow. little baby Mark Giordano signing, maybe? Little James Wisniewski signing, maybe? Little Grabowski signing, maybe? It is only game. Why you have to be mad?
That's a hockey, you know, it's only game. Why you have to be mad?
Wow, so our first round pick that we traded to Pittsburgh for Jordan Staal, they took on Ken Popst, an offensive defenseman, 72 overall with 97 potential. His offensive awareness is 87 already. This guy is going to be one of the best players in the NHL one day, probably. As long as they develop him correctly. I'd say that's not a bad trade for them if he actually develops. Our captains this year is going to be Eric Stahl's the captain, Justin Williams an alternate captain, and Jordan Staal an alternate captain. So these are the 2008-2009 Carolina Hurricanes. We've got Dustin Penner on the wing with Eric Staal and Justin Williams. We've got Jordan Staal with Eric Cole and Tuomo Ruutu. We've got this Wells Greeno McNeil guy with 86 faceoffs, 19 years old, centering UC Jokinen and Sergei Samsonov. And on the fourth line, I've decided to go with Dwight Helmanen over Joseph Vasicek because his defensive awareness is a little better. His speed, his skating is a lot better. I'm actually not even sure how he's a less overall than Joseph Vasicek, but we're going to go with him with Andrew Ladd and Chad LaRose. Our depth is Mikhail Grabowski is some depth for us. He could always go in on the fourth line if we really need offense or anywhere else. Joseph Vasicek, like I said, I don't know how his numbers equal out to him being a higher overall than the other guy. But Nicholas Wallin, Joseph Vasicek, and Mikhail Grabowski will be our injury players. On defense, we got Keith Ballard, Andre Mazaros, Yoni Pikkinen, Ladislav Smeed, Tim Gleason, and Grabeshkov. Dennis Grabeshkov. None of these guys really jumped, which is disappointing. Even Yoni Pikkinen didn't really jump. So defense still looking kind of mid, but our offense looks a lot better than it did last year. This team definitely looks like it should have better results than last season. And just like that, there's no preseason in these old games, so it goes directly to the regular season. In the next video, we'll start the simulation for year 2. Hopefully, it goes a little bit better than it did last season. I don't know. I feel like this simulation with this team, the changes that I've made, it's going to be a better simulation. Year 2 in the next video.